Where are all the good men? Women begging for the good men from Cosmic Verse.
Someone please tell me where the masculine men are out there?
Women, where do you find good men? Here is a pro.
Okay, so this is not about pursuing men, but it's about strategically placing yourselves in areas and places that high value men would be.
Women are screaming, where are the good men? But what happened to leave women alone?
Truth is that the women that walk around saying there's no good men out there, they have neural pathways that will only allow them to notice no good men out there.
You have a good man, don't think you're gonna find a better man somewhere else.
Try going to Lowe's or Home Depot, your local.
MGTOW is men guarding their wallets. The good men is home.
All these women are running around saying there's no good men, there's no men. And he's like,
they created it.
You motherfucker spent the last 10 years telling them that they were toxic. And now you've got all these demasculated men and you don't want to be with them. That's why these dating apps, you motherfuckers are using these dating apps and you're going out and giving some pussy to a dude hoping he'll fall in love, and he's leaving your house and going and banging 4 more chicks that are doing the same thing that night.
To all my ladies who are trying to find love, this one is for you. So if you're looking to find a masculine man, a true masculine man, not the one that's on the internet here arguing with women, but a true masculine man, try going to Lowe's or Home Depot, your local hardware store, especially on a Saturday or even on a Monday when the contractors are picking up their stuff. Try going there to find a true masculine man.
Strong, independent woman that doesn't need no man, okay? I just want one, you know, because they're kind of cute and they smell good sometimes and they pick up heavy things, you know, like me.
This isn't even for me, but girlies, listen to me good. If you want, and I got...
Bro, if you guys ever date women who have nails like this, you deserve what's coming to you. What is this even? What on earth? They're like super sharp too. They're gonna poke your fucking eye out. I've always wondered how women with these types of nails go to the bathroom. Right? How does that work? I don't even want it. It's just gross. Gross, gross, gross.
Crust in my eyes. Listen, if you want a high value man, a man with a little bit of De Niro, go to Starbucks in the morning. Go to Starbucks in the morning. You're welcome.
Girl, let me tell you something. If you continue to say and believe and put that into your atmosphere that all men are the same, you will never attract or bring about or manifest the man that you want in your life, that you need in your life. Because what happens is your words are powerful. And so if you're saying that all men are the same, that you're creating a mindset. You're ingraining something within you that believes that. So you don't think that a good man can even come to you. So stop saying that all men ain't shit and check your perspective and the way you look and see things. If not, you're just going to keep on being miserable.
Yeah, I mean, we do hear women say this shit all the time, right? When they open up their front camera and they start talking. But the thing is they don't really care to find a guy who's a good guy. They just want to complain and talk about the guys who are cheating on them. But they'll never really change their ways, will they? They might at some point when they get older. But it's like these women know that all men don't cheat. These women know that all men aren't shit. These women know all men are not the same because they have plenty of dudes probably messaging them. They've probably gone on dates with guys who were really good for them, really nice, but something was missing. The attraction wasn't really there. He was too nice to you. He was too available. He was too attentive. And so then they reject those men and, hey, fine, whatever, right? But they go for these other guys, and then they start generalizing men and saying that all men cheat, all men are the same. When that just isn't true, and your own experience reflects that, but for some reason you insist that it doesn't. when in reality, the men that you actually want, they probably don't really want you. I mean, I would say that's what's going on here. Or you like the chase, you like emotionally unavailable men. This is the name of the game. This is the name of the game of modern dating. And if you are still out there fucking with these ladies, it's probably in your best interest that you don't be this super nice guy. You don't be this chivalrous gentleman, because it's probably not going to work out great for you. And so it's like these women have made their beds and now they got to sleep in it because these are the men that they're even attracted to. So most men are like, oh, that's what you want, huh? All right. Like if they're still going to date, they're like, okay, then I'm going to adapt. And I'm going to be that guy who is kind of unavailable, right? I'm going to be that guy who is kind of toxic. This is just what it is. And chivalry, nice guy behavior, pedestalizing, treating them like a lady, right? Pretty useless nowadays.
Without the man that you really should be with. Have a good day.
Worked a lot and provided a good life, but she spent the money and cheated on me with 9 guys that I found out about. When a female says all men isn't shit, but still try to be in a relationship, anything that man does is going to be compared to other men. Just like everyone isn't going to be saved. A lot of females don't deserve a good man. The reason why these women keep saying all men are the same is because they keep picking and choosing the same types of guys to date. A good man is a man who supports his family. A good man is a man who goes above and beyond. And most of these modern women do not deserve that kind of man. Also, most of them aren't used to the good man. He's either too much of a good man or he's too nice. And that's a problem for these women today. Just like this woman here who says a good man isn't enough.
Sometimes a woman can talk her out of a relationship. You can talk, we do that.
Yes,
we will talk.
I'm gonna say something, and this might ruffle little feathers. I don't think just being a good man is enough to stay in a relationship with them.
But when I say a good man, I mean like he's good. That means all around. That means himself, spiritually, mentally, physically.
That's great.
Healthily, like he's a good man.
That doesn't mean that he's the man for you. And maybe when you're going through these motions of getting to know him, you're realizing, okay, he's a great person, but honestly, I don't fuck with his humor. Like he could be funny, but he's not funny to me.
And that's why a lot of modern women are getting 40 with 4 cats and no man, because he's a good man, but because he's not funny, you gotta throw that out.
Basically, what this bird is saying is, if a good man treats a woman right, takes care of her and the kids, make sure they're fed, take her on dates, that man is still not enough.
Yeah, obviously she's extremely picky. She's saying like his humor, the way he jokes would be enough for her to ignore everything else that was great. And for her, actually, it's like he's a great guy. All these things, mentally, physically, financially, maybe even like attractive. But you know what? His humor, his humor is a little off. So I'm good. I'm gonna go back out there and look for a new guy. Maybe this next guy will have everything, and he'll also have the humor aspect I'm looking for. And yeah, it just kind of seems like they think that they can have it all. We can have it all. They've been told they can. They've been told to never settle. They've been told that, hey, as a woman, when you get older, your value continues to go up and up. These women, hey, look at these super hot celebrity women who are in their 40s, and they're still banging hot. They're still banging attractive. We can be just like them, ladies. We don't have to settle either. We can be just like Kim K. We can get all this plastic surgery. We can focus on our career, and we can still get Kanye. It's like none of you are going to be that woman. None of you are going to be Kim K's. And none of you have that many options at that age. Certainly not. And ultimately, you guys are all high maintenance. You think you deserve the world. Matter of fact, you feel entitled to these doctors and lawyers, engineers, these high-earning men. But the problem is when you come across these guys and then, their humor's a little off. I think I'm good. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like they're very bad at picking men. And I suppose this is why arranged marriages were around. And a lot of times women like this would do great, or they would benefit a lot, right? If they went to their brother, uncle, dad, grandfather, which they're not going to do. But if they would go to these men to help vet which men they should go with. And you could probably predict that the father, the brother, would choose the guy who's going to treat them well and seems like he's got his shit together and is a nice dude and responsible. That's the guy that the father or the brother would choose for the woman. But that's not what these ladies prioritize. And so for them to go around saying, where are the good men at? Well, hold on, lady. You don't even prioritize that. Why are you saying that? You don't even, it's not really your number one priority, is it? You need to be asking, where are the men that I'm super attracted to and check all the boxes, but he only wants me and won't cheat? Where are those men? That's what you really need to be asking. Don't ask where the good men are. You know damn well where they're at. They're in your inbox texting you good morning. They're at work. Yeah, they're working right now. That's where they are. They're texting you, right? Good morning, good night. They're at work, checking in on you. That's where they are, and you know that. So stop it. Start saying, where are the men who I'm attracted to and check all the boxes and are perfect on paper and in reality and in front of me and can smooth talk me and are charmers and make a lot of money and are attractive and fit and 1% man, but they only want me and won't cheat on me. Where are those men? They're in fairy tale land, lady.
If you ever in your life come across a woman like that, you need to humble her and get her out of your life as soon as possible.
And
nothing but...
I don't really care, honestly. It's like, it is what it is. I'm not over here trying to sound like I come off complaining on this channel. But in a way, it's good to shine a light on this shit. And let's talk about it. Let's see how did we get here? Let's reinstill a patriarchy. Let's get these fathers and brothers back in these ladies' lives and help them pick and choose men. Right? That would be great for these ladies. But it's not happening. And I don't, whatever, right? Whatever, ladies. Like I said, you've made your bed. Now fucking sleep in it.
Misery awaits going down that road. That woman is on her way to 40 with 4 cats.
Correct.
There are lots of good men. Raise your hand if you're one of them.
Women can't see a good man if they are viewing us through the filter of pain and unhealed wounds. We all go through challenges, but there is good left. I am. But give me a reason why I should be a good man to a woman that'll never want me because of being a good man. We exist but are bottom-of-barrel choices for the girls that want the rough-and-ready bad boy type.
To all you ladies that say, there's no good men out here, where are the good men? They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They pass you every day. 68% of men are in the middle class or above. More than 2/3 of men out here. They pass you every day. They're in the coffee shops, they're in the gyms, they're at the steakhouses, they're in the lounges, they're out and about. The question is, why are you getting in front of them? And secondly, why are they not coming up to you and talking to you if they want you? The problem is the men you want aren't approaching you. So now all of a sudden there's no good men that meet your standards. That's not true.
Well, then again, this is a psyop. It's a psyop again. They're trying to convince everybody that all men are just pieces of shit and do terrible things. So these women run around, where are all the good men? Where are they? As if they're not everywhere. And so it's like they're trying to, maybe not consciously, but what they're doing is they're pushing this idea that, just all men are pieces of shit. And then that gets into the mainstream, that gets into the narrative, and feminism is pushing the same garbage. all men are evil oppressors. And then you've got these women who are dating, running around. Where are the good men at? They're all POSs. Men are trash. Just a heavy anti-male psyop, and it's been going on for a while. And the truth of the matter is most men are good men. Most men are pretty morally sound, honestly.
There's a ton of good men out here, and you continuously overlook them.
And honestly, most men are kind of simps, right? Yeah, I would say a lot of men are kind of stuck in the gynocentric matrix. Like a lot of men still pedestalize women just for being women. A lot of men give women the world, the life of female privilege. Like a lot of guys still have this courting, chivalrous mindset for women. So a lot of men are good men. They want to have, they want to be with these women and treat them right and pedestalize them, and they want a happy wife, a happy life. A lot of men want that. A lot of men still give these women this chivalrous life. They still want to court these women. They still want to be traditional. And I would say, yeah, a lot of men think like that. And I would say actually the minority of men, perhaps like myself, realize what's going on here and are done just pedestalizing women for the mere fact that they're women. Over it. It's just like I grew up in a feminist world, in an egalitarian world, and so a lot of the women, they want their cake and they want to eat it too, and I'm over it, right? I'm good. So, and interestingly enough, you'll notice that modern women respond better in a way to that mindset. Because here's the thing, if you're pedestalizing these women and giving them this female privilege, well, they end up kind of looking down on you, right? And these women certainly don't want to be with a guy who they perceive his mate value to be lower than theirs. Certainly not. So in a way, like knocking these women off their pedestal, it kind of brings them back down to earth, and that's going to do good. That's going to do good for you. It's like these women don't respond well to courting and chivalry. It's like they think it's cringe and corny. Yeah, they don't like that. You might be able to get away with it if you're really, really attractive, right? But if you're like an average guy and you're talking to maybe an average woman and you try to come with all that nice guy chivalry, courting, I'm a good man type shit, yikes. Probably not going to do well for you. Probably not going to go well for you.
And you refuse when the ones that you want are not approaching you. You just say there's no good men out here. That's BS. There's a ton of good quality, qualified men out here that would be glad to get in a relationship. But the question is, are you relationship worthy? Do you put yourself in the position, and are you worth the approach? I got to shoot straight. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of you are not, because of your attitude about dating and men. They sense that from a mile away. If you're going to tell me they're not out here, that's not true. They're everywhere out here. So the question is, why are they not approaching you?
I'm in my 50s and married. I would have never thought at this age I would know some many men and women who are single in their 20s, 50s. Women don't love themselves enough to know what they want. Women will never face the truth that they know nothing about dating.
They seem to love themselves very much nowadays, don't they? They seem to love themselves a little bit too much. And it sounded like what this guy here was saying. This guy, he was coming at the approach that these good men aren't approaching these women because they aren't relationship material. And I see what he's saying. But it's like, I guess you could point that out. I guess you could make that argument. But it's also the fact that these women don't want quote unquote good men. They a lot of times find it corny and cringe, and it's just like, oh, he likes me too much. He's reciprocating interest. I'm good. It's like I'm right now currently in my this time of my life, I'm only pursuing men who aren't that interested in me. I'm only interested in men who don't show interest in me. And specifically this in the beginning. right? Because at some point, if these women want to get into like actual relationships, it's going to get to the point to where interest is reciprocated. That's how relationships work. It's like, oh, you like me, I like you. Fair enough. Let's get into a relationship. But in the beginning, it does seem to be the case that women are very interested in men who are not quite convinced on them in the beginning. And these women have to like earn their interest, their interest. Or if the guy is really attractive, he can really get away with anything, likely. Maybe not anything, but he's certainly got a lot more leeway. He's got a lot more room to screw up. But for, like, I guess you could say average men, they certainly cannot be out here courting, being the nice guy, being really interested right away, being really available right away. Definitely not. So it's like what he's saying here is like, no, these good men aren't interested in you. These good men aren't approaching you. And that actually could be the case, because I would say that really good men, they're able to spot women and be like, oh, she seems quite damaged. She's got a lot going on there. She's got some long ass nails. She's got a spray tan. She's got a lot of makeup on. She's dressing in some type of way. Her friends also look to be trouble. You know what? That's not really a girl that I would pursue for a long-term relationship. Although she probably would be fun for like a night. However, that is not a girl I would be willing to commit to. She's got too much going on. She looks like trouble. So what he's saying, I kind of understand. But it does seem to be it's a multi point of view thing going on here. That's the nuance to it. That's the ins and outs. Pretty interesting stuff, isn't it, you guys?
Relationships out of desperation. Their number one concern should be focusing on healing themselves, not to try and break the good guy's heart.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but is it so freaking difficult to meet a man that has a steady job, no kids, all his teeth, good looking, good in bed, goes downtown, has a vehicle, a license? I mean, are these like outlandish things to ask for in a man? Like,
yeah, but see, here we go though. Because, well, yet again, it's like the nails. You're kind of older. Your attitude kind of already is quite crass. So this is where what this guy was saying seems to come into play. Right? It's like, you certainly are not going to be. But then again, I would imagine this woman, even her, has simps gawking all over her probably. Even this woman. It's certainly lesser than when she was in her 20s or something. But they're probably still there. They're probably still hitting her up. But she doesn't want those guys. So, you know what? This is the game we play, isn't it?
these like outlandish things to ask for in a man, like, I am just like in awe of the selection out there is rough. I mean, I know I'm not like perfect. I know I need to lose weight, but I mean, I'm pretty. I have all my teeth. I have good skin. I mean, I have so much to bring to the table. I'm educated. I have a good job. I have no children. I'm 43 years old and I'm still struggling.
Hey, at least
is it because I'm too
at least she's not a single mom, right? At 43, typically, if these women are single, they're going to be coming with some children. So shit, she's kind of one-upping her competition out there a little bit. But yeah, lose some weight. You know, even she said it. She's overweight. I don't know. It's the way she comes off, right, is a bit eh. But hey, if women watch me, the way I come off is probably annoying as well. So whatever.
picky because, sorry, I'm not settling and I'm not lowering my standards like I did in my last relationship. So, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to be single forever. Forever single, 43. That's it.
Well, at least she knows she's gonna be single for a long time. A 43-year-old woman trying to date with a 25-year-old woman's mindset. There's a reason why some people say women are just tall children. She's talking about being picky, like she's got all the time in the world. Maybe she don't realize this, but that's exactly what's keeping her single. It's probably why she's been unmarried for so long.
This is for the gentleman. If you're not a gentleman, then just keep scrolling. Now that the gentlemen are here, you guys, appreciate you.
Good men exist. The only reason why a whole bunch of women are not finding them is because good men do not go to clubs. They do not go to bars. They do not go where there is going to be chaos. Good men stay at home, where they know they have some peace and quiet. Because good men value their peace. Good men also keep their circle of friends small because they can tell the difference between a good person and a bad person. If they associate with a bad person, then they're not a good person now, are they? Good men value the friendships that they have, and they value what they believe in. So good men are not going to be surrounding themselves with bad people because that would ruin their peace. They would prefer to be with a small group of friends who have the same values as them, who value peace. A lot of good men also stay at home with their wives and children because they value families. A lot of good men also go to church because they know that that's where their values lie. Because they know that church is what makes them a good man. So if you want to know where all the good men are, they're sticking to themselves because they value their peace and quiet.
Please tell me where the masculine men are out there?
I suppose that depends on what one's definition of masculine is. However, they happen to be everywhere. But a lot of them are hiding.
Seems like there's more men nowadays that want to be the one in the relationship.
Let's hear this one out.
What happened to the chivalrous man? They're far and few between.
Modern feminism happened, convincing men that they suffered from toxic masculinity.
Yeah, and a woman like this here who's saying where are the chivalrous men at? She would be really happy to have a bunch of men being chivalrous to her so she could disqualify them. She said, what happened to the chivalrous men? Let's be real, guys. If she gets a guy who looks match her, let's just say her looks match, just as attractive, like if she's a 6, he's a 6 too, a 6 as well, and then he comes along and he's chivalrous to her, she probably is gonna find it cringe. She probably is gonna be like, ooh, too much. But if she gets a guy who maybe, I'd say she is a 6, maybe 5. She's about average. And she gets a guy who is a 9. And he comes along and he's chivalrous. I would say that's probably the chivalry she's looking for. I would say, actually, it's not the chivalry she's looking for. She's looking for a guy who's perhaps a lot more attractive than her. It's like if you want to get away with chivalrous shit, you better be way more attractive than her. That's kind of seems to be the case. So what happened to the chivalrous men? What happened to the masculine men who open the doors and bring us flowers? What happened to them? I don't think the question is what happened to them. I think the question is, why aren't these men who are out of my league getting me flowers? I think that's what she's saying. So I really don't buy it, right? I was talking to a girl the other day who I've known for a while, and her and I at this point are not intimate. But she was kind of telling me how the guys she's been seeing and going out on dates with are very... They insist on buying. They insist on buying dinner, paying for the first dates, all this. She's getting the chivalry treatment. And so for her to, like, this lady here act just like, oh, you know, where are the masculine men? Where are the chivalrous men? Like I was saying earlier, they're still very prevalent. They're still very omnipresent. So I'd say you're full of shit, lady. I think you want a 10 to be chivalrous. And so then that would make it that you don't want the chivalry at all, do you? You just want the 10. You just want the 9. Your standards are so fucking high, probably. You want the guy who checks all the boxes. But look at her. And when I say look at her, she looks a little bit older, right? I would say she's probably older than me. She's probably in her 30s. So, I mean, look, lady, you're in your 30s and you're still asking where to find the masculine men. Yikes. You've been here a long time now. Still can't find them, huh? I call bullshit.
Happen to the chivalrous man. They're far and few between.
Modern feminism happened, convincing men that they suffered from toxic masculinity and that women can do everything on their own so they don't need men to act in a chivalrous manner.
If you are them, where do they find you?
They've been out there the whole time, but frankly, a lot of them are avoiding contact with a lot of women because they never know which ones are going to yell at them for holding open a door.
Local Home Depot. See what's wrong. Let's go find your one at Home Depot. No, the guy that's there on a Saturday morning is there because his wife sent him there to get the shift worker project.
Okay.
Maybe I can find you at Costco in the meat market.
Meat market, huh? Yeah, I'm not touching that one.
But literally, what happened to the masculine men? Where do I find you? Where do women in general find you? And when did men become such little dusty boys?
All right, there it is. There's the shaming. Dusty little boys. Okay, lady. You deserve what's going to you. You deserve it. Dusty little boys. Don't even... Just shaming, right? Just sign language. Shame, insult, guilt, the need to be right. I am right that there are no chivalrous men anymore. I am right that these men are dusty little boys. I am right in shaming them and insulting them and saying that they are dusty little boys. That's funny. Interesting. Wouldn't it be funny if like men were to insult modern women and call them just little girls? That would be kind of weird, wouldn't it? I think it would be weird. And yet these women feel happy to call men little boys. Why are you dating little boys? Isn't that just what you're saying? Didn't you just right there just admit that you go on dates with little boys? Because that's what I heard. That's what I heard. If you're telling me that somehow the men you're running into are little boys, that's a little weird. I think you have some issues you need to work out. Yeah. Good luck, lady.
All right, rant over.
Honestly, women have no one but themselves to blame for this and modern feminism because they constantly demanded that men change their ways and stop being so toxically masculine, and this is the result. So, again, be careful what one asks for, because you just might get it.
This is everything these days. I have a grown son looking to move overseas just to find a wife.
Oh.
We masculine men are hiding so we can't be found, so our hearts can't be hurt, and our emotions...
I don't buy that shit. I don't believe you, dude. I don't believe you, Justin. We masculine men are hiding so we can't be found, so our hearts can't be hurt and our emotions can't be played with. That kind of sounds like something a woman would say.
Can't be played with. We are out there trying to support our bros who are trying to get back on their feet. Good men who got told to not be themselves. We are out here, but we do not bother looking anymore to meet women. I'm done. I know everything I need to know to fix anything that needs fixed. Would love to have a woman in my life, but not looking. I was on a date many years ago. I opened the car door for her, and she stood in front of me and told me I could open my own door. That was our first and last date. The chivalrous man was trying to be chivalrous until he was told he wasn't needed anymore. Now what these men are doing is traveling the world, going overseas, and avoiding contact with modern women. A lot of these women will discard the good man, and then later on in life beg for them to come back. That's just not how things work. You've had your chance.
Yeah, and honestly, I guess the lesson is kind of just don't really be that good man then, huh? Right? Don't be the guy who's overly invested. Make her work for it a little bit. Yep. String her along a little bit. This is the game we play if you're still dating. And, honestly, I would say all women respond to that type of behavior, some more than others. But I think like with foreign women, a little goes a long way. Because ultimately, a lot of this comes down to like evolutionary psychology. And it's that eggs are expensive and sperm is cheap. So if you can make your sperm appear to be expensive and scarce and high value, then women are going to be more interested in it. And so while this certainly does seem to be a modern woman thing that has become, like, it's taken it to the next level, to where hypergamy is really just out of this world right now. And so, because a lot of this is, it's like if you remove religion, if you remove cultural shame, if you remove fathers and brothers and uncles and grandfathers in the mate selection process for women, well, they're just going to kind of fall into their evolutionary instincts, which is the dual mating strategy, which is hypergamy. So when it's unchecked, this is the type of shit you get. It's like they all want to date up. They all want to go for this certain guy. They all want to have his kids, especially if they're like ovulating. That's when that shit really goes crazy. And what you'll notice is as these women get older and they start running out of eggs, sorry to be crass, but when they get older and they start running out of eggs, it's like they start choosing the good guys. Now they start choosing the nice guys who will be chivalrous. And it's like when they're in their youthful years, in their prime fertility, you continue to hear them talk about this. He was a good guy, but something was missing. Something was missing. And it's being a good guy alone isn't enough for them. And it kind of does go back to, if you can make your sperm appear to be expensive, that's going to be good for you. And so, like, what we deal with nowadays is just kind of, you have to find a balancing act, right? And this is the world of mate selection. And like I said, the removal of cultural shame, religion, and fathers and brothers helping women pick men. It's kind of a free-for-all out here, and they're just falling into their instincts, going after men and falling into their, I guess you could say, hypergamous nature.
Where did all the cowboys go?
And choosing men who aren't necessarily going to be good for them.
The kind of man that would walk you home. Say yes, ma'am, to your...
There are no good guys left in New York. Why do all New York men suck? Now, I used to believe this. I used to think all New York men suck until I cracked the code. In New York City, there's an even split between great guys and objectively shitty guys. 50-50, simple as that. But within the 50% of objectively great guys, there's only 20% that are available. And this is because the other 30% are cuffed. They're in a relationship. So that's why it feels like there are no great guys, because there's only 20% of them that you can actually...
And they're in a relationship with a good woman. Right? They're in a relationship with a woman who is a good woman, isn't damaged. Yeah.
Actually have. And they're scarce, so kind of, you never know where they're going to be. Are they going to be at a coffee shop? Are they going to be in a Barnes & Noble? Probably not. And while the city does attract certain rats, there's equally great rats out there. They're just more scarce because half of them have been snatched.
Y'all, we just left the DL. And if you know, you know. And whenever you question where the hell are all the fine black men, that's where they are. Yeah. So, and they are DL.
Well, hold on. Yeah. Are you a fine black woman?
Bingo.
Surely you don't think... Never mind.
Where did all the good men go? There's actually two things here. Besides me being old enough to be your mother, and there's a lot of women my age still asking that question, where are the good guys at? A lot of them are in the friend zone where you left them. And
notice how this older woman here has all of a sudden come to this conclusion. And it's funny how when they get older, all of a sudden they know exactly where those good men are, don't they?
something, we have a nice guy, right? We're attracted to him, but then we find out he's just too nice, and that's the part that makes them unattractive. Instead of shying away, how about speaking up and empowering them, saying, hey, I love, it would be really attractive if you, took the lead. It's more attractive if you take the initiative, or if you call me more, if you set boundaries or challenge me, because a lot of those nice guys are really just waiting to be empowered, and they can be great men. The other thing is, as you said, 20, 30-year-olds are still into smoking and partying. Well, those guys right there are going to have to go through a whole bunch of shit in their lifetime. until they get to be about my age and turn out to be great men. So you either have the opportunity to tell some nice guys to level up, or you have the opportunity to wait for those guys playing around to grow up.
Yo, she actually just killed that. That was great. Yeah. I was giving her a little bit of shit, but she actually just fucking killed that. That's spot on. Great. 100%.
The bottom line is, women got exactly what they've been asking for. Most of the guys got tired of being told they're too nice and just quit dating altogether. They keep asking for the men, but the men are around them everywhere in the streets they walk by. Fellas, you should get with a woman that wants to see you level up. That's the woman that deserves to be in your life.
Down, down.
If you're a single woman in dating, stop scrolling. This is for you. As a dating coach, here's an obstacle that women share with me all the time. If you start to feel like all men are the same and there's no good men out here, that's a scarcity mindset, and I want you to take a break. While you're on that break, I want you to start a morning manifestation routine. Here's why this is important.
Oh, goodness.
A woman who has the ability to speak life into herself is powerful. She's also less likely to attract and tolerate bullshit. This is why I created a morning manifestation routine that helps you change your inner narrative in 4 weeks. Because everything that you've ever desired is on the other side of doubt. And as your new dating coach, I want to see you win.
No matter how good of a man you are, you will never be good.
No, that was a real... Holy shit, that girl is She's trying to make some money, isn't she? What the fuck? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Manifest your man. That's probably a pretty good grift to hop on for these these women. Let me help you manifest your good man that you've been pondering for many years about where is he. Let's manifest him for you. Let's get him in your life today for only $200.
Good enough for an immature woman. Some women cannot appreciate good men, and it's not your job to love them until they do.
That is absolutely correct. So many men have fallen victim to those types of women and came out broken. Do not give yourself or your time to someone who doesn't value you, appreciate you, or cherish you as well. You will be the one to regret it in the end.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, the thing is I would say that women have always been pretty choosy, right, about who they pick, specifically in their prime years, their prime fertility and youthful years is when they're pretty picky and choosy. But as they get older, right, they start changing up their priorities. But certainly the current world we live in has exacerbated, has like multiplied and just made it a lot worse. It's a lot worse nowadays than it used to be. And I've mentioned the reasons kind of several times now, but where did I hear this? I think it was Andrew Wilson was saying that, and I looked into it, and it's accurate, that men have more female ancestors than male ancestors. So what that tells us is that women they are the gatekeepers to sex. They are choosy, and this is just how they've always been. But the thing is like the modern world, the modern culture, dating apps, social media, it's just made it that much worse. So it's quite an interesting time we live in. But I think I'll leave it there. We're approaching 40 minutes. So anyways, if you made it this far, you're awesome. And I would appreciate a subscription. So see you later. Bye.